Hello, welcome to Public Health Hired's Best Tips and Starter Kit on how to get hired in public health. My name is Zoila Reyna, and I will be walking you through the tested and proven techniques of how to get hired in public health. I am the founder of Public Health Hired, and I am so excited in these 15 minutes to share with you how to really prepare, whether you are a student, a recent graduate, or a working professional in the field, regardless of the amount of years you have. And all these methods and tips you're about to see are applicable to any focus area and any skill set within the industry. So welcome. I am Zoila Reyna. I am the founder of Public Health Hired. I have been dedicating myself for the last couple of years on sharing the proven techniques and best practices on how to get hired. Whether you are a professional student or recent graduate, I founded the company at the height of the pandemic. And I really did so because I found myself socially isolated, just like all of us. And given that public health was in everyone's mouth and all across the news, I knew deep down inside that my colleagues, such as yourself, were still struggling on how to get hired in public health because I know the pain. I know how difficult it is from my own 15 years of experience in this industry, working in nonprofits, private research, as well as healthcare companies and government, on how difficult it is to really break through in the industry and secure that job offer. So not only do these tips that I'm about to share with you actually stem from my own experience, but now the hundreds of colleagues across the nation and the globe who have secured job offers at reputable companies such as the ones you see here on the screen. I wanted to highlight that these job offers came from companies with zero connections, zero referrals. There was no networking involved. So my methods do not have anything to do with building a network and making sure that you have connections. All of this stems from really sharing with you how to find the best jobs, how to position yourself with tailored resumes and cover letters, by learning how to map a job announcement to your resume and cover letter, as well as how to properly prepare for interviews, known as my technique, total recall interview prep. So you'll notice on here the logos of companies who've hired your colleagues, and it took about 4 to 8 months for them to get hired, some a little sooner, some a little longer, but on average, that's what you should expect. So if you're just starting in your job hunt and you're already frustrated, give yourself a little bit of breathing room, give yourself a little bit of grace, and just know that it does take 4 to 6 months to get hired. And that if you see yourself working at any of these companies or similar companies, it is possible. You can do it. You can break through, and you don't need anyone but yourself, your own merit, and your own understanding of what you have to offer to these companies. So let's dive into some of the best tips I have to offer for you. The purpose of this presentation is to really help you demystify the employment process within public health and prepare you for the job hunt unlike anything else you've ever experienced. I want you to gain clarity about your career trajectory, prepare you with the best tips that I have to offer from the Hired method. I'm not going to go into deep detail about the Hired method. I only have 15 minutes with you, but I do want to give you the top 3 tips. If there was 3 things I wanted you to walk away with, then these are the 3. And then how to let go of limiting beliefs and adopting a hired mindset to make sure you secure that job offer or multiple job offers if you'd like. So some of the most common limiting beliefs that I see, and maybe you see yourself in these, is that number 1, the most popular, is you assume you don't have enough public health experience to get a job. Now, this is super common. I would say 90% of us feel this way, especially after graduation, especially if we haven't had a traditional public health job. But I want to remind you that you are enough. You are definitely enough, and you simply need to increase your understanding of the key terms and how to read jobs. So I teach you how to read jobs in relation to the common key terms you'll see cited over and over across our industry and in jobs, whether it's a nonprofit, government, private research, or even philanthropy jobs. You will notice a trend of key terms. And I have a free guide at my website on how to actually increase your understanding, see your transferable skills, and start to search based on those exact terms. So you need to stop assuming that you don't have public health experience, because a lot of jobs actually cite that they want someone who has stakeholder management experience, project management experience, experience in health education, experience working with diverse stakeholders. So you have to learn how to read that, read the fine print under qualifications, and start to see yourself that way and actually map yourself against the job appropriately. So we'll talk a little bit about that in a bit. And then also, another limiting belief I hear is that I need to network. I need a friend referral to get a job. And this is far from the truth. I have actually gotten multiple jobs on my own by simply applying these methods for myself. I just started to notice a trend. If I would do something on my resume one time versus other times, I noticed a difference. And if I prepared a certain way for interviews, I noticed I was moving along the rounds of interviews, because public health, it's not just one interview, it's two, three, sometimes an assignment. So there's a lot of rounds of interviews. And so I want to remind you that you don't need anyone but yourself. I will teach you how to represent yourself on paper and in person like a professional, like a polished professional, and gain the etiquette needed to really stand out from your competition. And then lastly, I hear a lot of folks say that I don't interview well. Well, that's all of us. Welcome to the club. It's not a natural feeling. You don't just learn this overnight. It takes practice, takes a different mindset. And what I teach is the total recall interview prep technique. And I really teach you how to frame your experience in relation to the key terms of the job, and really be comfortable bringing your whole experience, your total experience to the conversation. And I want to remind you that you can actually talk in interviews about things outside of your resume. So a dynamic candidate actually has more to share than what's on their resume. And if that's who you are, then that will work just fine. You simply have to do it in a very sensitive and diplomatic manner. The interview is also an opportunity for you to raise lived experience, which a lot of you are not even quantifying or qualifying. So if you have lived experience for a job where the mission of the organization is in relation to mental health, substance use, homelessness, chronic disease management, cancer, HIV, anything that is in relation to the mission, such as you've seen your family go through a really difficult challenge in relation to what the company is trying to address, then that is where you raise the conversation, is with your lived experience as well. So lots to learn about interview prep, but if you want to learn more, you can check out my masterclass, which actually has winning recording interview prep sessions with people who actually secured a job offer after doing interview prep with me, known as Total Recall. So more on that if you're interested. I want to congratulate you for choosing a wonderful career for yourself with lots of promise. In fact, the U.S. Bureau of Labor and Statistics cites that our industry is growing exponentially, far outgrowing other industries by 5%. So yes, you have longevity in this career, in this field, and you are going to do just fine. It's really up to you to really capitalize and maximize on the opportunities and see yourself in a different light as you keep growing. So obviously there is a lot to do with the pandemic that we were in need and in high demand, but there's still a lot of other things going on in our industry, from mental health to homelessness to chronic disease management, tobacco prevention, youth development, community engagement, patient relations, and so much more. So I am here to congratulate you on choosing a wonderful field for your career, because you will really grow and enjoy it in a meaningful way. So where are the jobs? Where do you look for jobs? Where can I find the jobs? So these are the top 7 industries that really are hiring colleagues such as yourself, and they range from government to nonprofit, healthcare, university, philanthropy, private consulting groups, as well as association, coalitions, and membership kind of companies. So make sure that you are seeing this diversity in your job feed. Some of us are stuck in search loops, which is where you're only seeing one kind of industry, especially if you come from retail or IT or some other kind of industry that you worked in prior to your public health career starting. So make sure that you are connecting on LinkedIn with other colleagues from companies that you see yourself working at or you wish you worked at. And you'll start to notice that LinkedIn will send these kinds of jobs your way, recommend them from that company because of the network that you have on LinkedIn. No, you don't have to know these people, but you can just send a simple request to connect with them because you admire their work and you want to learn more. So you don't actually have to talk to anyone. It's really more about making sure that LinkedIn's algorithm is maximized and optimized to your advantage. So keep that in mind, get out of search loops. And the other way to get out of search loops is by improving your searches based on key terms that I have. So I'll show you that in a second. So what is the hired method? So the hired method that you probably have heard about if you've been following Public Health Hired or you're curious, what is the hired method? It stands for honing, intercepting, reflecting, embodying, and getting those dollars. So the reason that you saw more than 100 people get jobs in the previous slide is because folks have been able to finally break down and digest and really understand the different phases of the employment process. So what I've done is in my masterclass, I walk you through each of these steps and you actually will have a better understanding and grounding on what does it really take to hone for a job and do this job search. What does intercepting my resume to a job announcement really mean? This is all about tailoring. This is all about catching the hiring manager's eye. You kind of intercept the job announcement in thin air and you make sure that they pay attention to you. And then cover letter is a way after you grab their attention, they actually can now read why you are the best candidate. There is a method behind this. There's a tone. Cover letters are all about tone, all about maturity. There is a very simple structure that I have found works for me and obviously works for colleagues across the nation and internationally. So if you want to see templates and actual examples, winning examples, that is also in my masterclass. And then finally, you have interviews where you are really embodying the job. You are the job, be the job. That's the whole point of interviews. So I don't really cover that here. My technique known as total recall. But if you want to learn more and see recorded sessions of people who actually did interview prep with me and learned how to frame and reframe their experience accordingly to the key terms of the job, check that out in the masterclass. And finally, if you go through HIRE, HIRE, you successfully get hired with the dollars. So you get to talk about salary negotiation, which is my favorite part, because now you've done the hard work. Now you can enjoy and see how much money you can get from this job. So what is the secret of the hired method? What is the big deal? Why are people actually seeing progress? Besides understanding the framework of the hired method, you actually learn the steps that are crucial that you must hit. Where's the marks? What do you need to land for every single step? These are the bullet points that really highlight for every single phase of the employment process what to focus on. What are the most critical things to understand? So if there was one slide I wanted you to walk away with, this is it. Take a photo, memorize it, print it, put it on your wall. This is everything you're ever going to need to know in order to really stand out from the competition. And then we have the tips. So let's jump into it. Number one tip is actually study the job boards. I cannot highlight this enough. So you really need to study the job unlike anything else you've ever experienced. You need to really master the key terms. Give yourself anywhere from 4 to 6 months to really start to study the jobs, because it takes about 4 to 8 months to get hired. But if you give yourself 4 to 6 months, that should be enough time for you to get a good grounding, start to see your job options, start to understand the entire industry that is, really available for you for employment. And the key terms is really a way for you to rethink about your transferable skills and what you really have to offer in this industry. So maybe you're someone who takes for granted that you've been implementing and scaling and sharing a certain model of a program, and really that has to do with best practices and scaling and building capacity. So if you're not comfortable with these terms in relation to public health, that's why this guide is for free. Download it at publichealthhired.com. It is the most popular document that I have to share. Over 1,000 individuals have downloaded it. because it really resonates with them. And this is the best starter for how to really prepare for the job hunt. Understand the key terms, start to read the jobs, and really use this guide to your advantage. Not every single key term is on here, but the most popular ones are on here, and they should resonate with you. They range from focus areas like mental health and global health to also actual skill sets around implementation, coordination, technical assistance, stakeholder management, and so on. So what's the strategy and approach to job hunting and searching? It has to do with keeping things moving. So make sure that you're taking into context focus areas, the sectors that you're finding, the skill sets that you're searching for, whether it's community engagement, coordination, stakeholder management, technical assistance, and also making sure that when you search titles, you don't search long titles, you keep it to one word. In fact, if you want to search any entry-level titles, search associate coordinator, advocate, educator, or lead. These are very popular. Even navigator is a good one. So make sure that you keep it to one word because it'll open up more possibilities for you and keep you from your assumptions. So what is a two-page, my number 2 tip is make sure that you're ready with a 2-page resume for your job hunt. So you will be applying the jobs with the 2-page resume. 1-page resume does not work. Abandon that. It's not enough. You need at least you need a summary, your education, experience, and your 4th optional category is leadership. So make sure you download winning examples and the templates in the masterclass. So this is available to you because they're winning cases. Again, I only share what works. So anything you see in my masterclass is from individuals that actually broke through and got a job offer. So keep it to 2 pages, simple format, no tables, nothing's fancy. You don't even need italics. You don't need everything to be caps, just calm down with all of that. You really need to focus on content. And that's really what breaks through with my followers and my mentees when they see they make traction and they actually get noticed for callbacks. Here's a quick snapshot of what a winning resume looks like. This individual actually got an internship at San Diego State University, and they are finishing up their master's degree. But you'll notice that it has a really robust summary. Their education is simple, no GPA, no honors, no classes, no honors is called out, nothing like that. And even if you're currently in school, you can call out your year by putting expected. So this person is expected to graduate May 2023. So you'll notice that their experience is also very robust. It's balanced, I like to say, where it has 1 to 2 lines. And you'll notice in bold is their degree as well as their titles that they had. Not the companies, not the schools, not the cities, but they have to highlight themselves. So put yourself first and put your titles in bold. Then you have the second page here from the same person who had the leadership section as their option to highlight themselves. So they actually use this to put unpaid jobs on here. You don't need to do this. You can actually just remove the leadership category if you wanted to put all of your experience in under one section. You don't need to break up your experience, but I like to have leadership as an option because it highlights you as a professional, even though you're a student. Yes, if you give your time and you're volunteering in the community, you are a leader. I always like to say, you are a student. You are not a student looking for work. You are a working professional who happens to go to school. Okay, so keep that in mind. You are not a student looking for work. You are a working professional who happens to go to school. That is the mindset you are adopting. This is excuse me, this is the hire tip number 3. And we're about to wrap up, but this is a quick snapshot of winning summaries. So it's the same person. I like to highlight this because it shows you what a summary actually feels like, what it should include, and it actually stems from the job qualifications. In my masterclass, I teach you exactly how to do this for yourself, what makes my followers and mentees stand out because they master this one thing. And it's really because it's your insurance against a lazy manager, overworked managers, your screeners, any panel interviews you go through, as well as it's your elevator pitch, your clickbait, it's your soundbite. It's all you need really sometimes to stand out. A lot of folks when they get screened, they get screened and noticed because of their summary, and it really grabs the company's attention in a really professional manner. So this person got hired from their top summary by the Fund for Public Health in New York City. You'll notice the difference of the language in the second application for Planned Parenthood. The key terms range because of what the job asked for. Again, it's all about the job. It's all about studying the jobs. It's all about key terms. So this is what makes a difference and will make a difference for your own career, for your own job hunting. So if you're interested and you like what you see, I encourage you to download the masterclass. It will automatically come with unlimited access to 3 main modules around the job search, the resume cover letters, as well as the interview prep. It has lots of attachments. It even includes my own resume and cover letter from 2017, where I got my job, and where the hired methods stem from. So anything you see relates to that same format and is replicated over and over. In all of the cases you see in the masterclass, it's a self-paced, online downloadable course, and it comes with a complimentary 30 minutes mentor session where we can talk about anything you want, whether it's exploring your career trajectory, job hunting. We can actually look at jobs together, do a resume review for you, or even some folks hold on to their mentor session for interview prep. So completely up to you. If you choose to do interview prep, that is a recorded session and you get to keep that for yourself. And then I also have the hired mentorship. The next window of enrollment is actually April 2023. So make sure you sign up for the wait list, check out the FAQs, check out the agreement if you're interested. That is an exclusive, unique offer only to public health professionals, where I am your mentor until you get a job offer. So I'm with you over Zoom on a weekly basis. You have me on your phone. We can talk, we can text, and I'm really here to support you, guide you, and mentor you throughout this really tumultuous, frustrating, painful job hunt. And I am happy to report that so far I've had 22 mentees, and half of them have secured employment. And soon the other half will as well. So I am not letting anyone go. I'm not here, and I am here until you get a job offer. That is my guarantee for the mentorship. This is a quick snapshot of what the masterclass looks like. If you're interested, it has 3 main modules. It has lots of videos, including recordings of me walking people through tailoring their resume against a job. That's how you get a job offer, is you have to tailor. So I teach you how to do that and keep it simple and not be overwhelmed. And then I also have winning recordings of folks who did interview prep successfully. And if you're interested, you can download that for 50% off. Use code HIRED50 at www.publichealthhired.com. And if you want to follow me on social media, you can find me on Instagram and TikTok. The unique thing about Instagram is I offer free job alerts about once a week on my stories with live links. So you can actually see the jobs for yourself and click on the link if there's something that you like. So I screen them myself, I vet these job alerts, and I have a really strong following because folks really enjoy having me send them job alerts to consider, keep them motivated, keep them inspired, show them the diversity that's out there. And then also you can find me on LinkedIn. You can check out my background. I have over 15 years in public health. I also have a page on LinkedIn for Public Health Hired now. And then I have my website, which has all of my services, the masterclass, the wait list for the mentorship, as well as that free guide of key terms. So I hope this has helped. I hope you feel like this has been a great starter kit for you and your job hunt. I'm here to cheer you on. Keep calm, job hunt on, and I know you can do this. I know you can get hired. All right, here for you all. Bye. Thank you for joining me.